I hope there's not too much wind noise over here. Just driving down the road, beautiful day, 70 degrees. Hope this is working. Going 45, 50 miles an hour. We're in fourth gear. It was only a 350cc bike, so not that much power, but a lot of fun. I'm a novice rider. Less than a year I've been riding. It's just something I wanted to do in my old age. I have a couple of other bikes, a little more powerful. I haven't even ridden them yet, to be honest with you. But this is good. This is fun for around town. Driving around, you know, 50, 55 miles an hour, 35 miles an hour, whatever. So it's just, that's it. So we're just going to take a look at some beautiful scenery. Might pass by some celebrity houses. A little wide on that turn. This is a great street. A lot of famous people live on this actual street. I'm not going to point them out because I'm friends with them and the invasion of privacy, but some of the biggest rock and roll stars in the world actually live on this actual street. One of them I've been friends with for over 20 years, so I don't think he'd appreciate if I said, hey, there's Blank's house. But it's just a beautiful area, very country, as you see. Speed limits around here are very, very low, 35, 40. So this is the first bike. We're going, what, second gear right now? Alright, so again, I'm actually still a novice, so coming to a stop sign, going to bring it down to first, let off the throttle. Did a rolling stop there, you're not supposed to do that, but that's what I did. Jumped it back up into second. So I'm not going to say which one of these houses belongs to a major superstar, but it's one of these I'm either passed or about to pass. Always wondered why people live in this area, celebrities. I guess because it's quiet, people don't bother them. How I got here I'll never know. I'm the schmuck in town, but a lot of hedge fund people, a lot of old money, crazy rich people. It's good and it's bad. When you want to have something done on your house, like plumbing work or something, I think I'm charged about 3 times more than if I lived in a different town. But it's got some pluses too. It's helped in business. Alright, bringing it down to first gear. Gonna stop at this red light here. Gonna head up to this street here, take a little ride around a very pretty reservoir. Put it up to second gear. Some wet patches because it's been raining for about 2 weeks straight. Pretty depressing weather. Just going to do a short trip today. I don't even know if this thing's actually working, this camera. It's called the Drift Ghost XL Plus. There's about 75 different versions on Amazon. I really couldn't figure out which is which. I don't think this has Bluetooth, which sort of sucks, because the only way to see your camera when you're stopped is connecting to Wi-Fi, I think. If it has Bluetooth, I guess it would be good, but if not, it would suck. But anyway, it's just a nice sunny day. I'm glad to be out. Trying out some of my new gear too. I'm wearing a hooded sweatshirt that I got recently, which comes with armor pads in the elbows, back, and shoulders. And on top of that, I'm wearing a leather vest that I got from Manchester, England. It's a traditional, like, Sons of Anarchy style vest. I don't think Sons of Anarchy guys rode Royal Enfield motorcycles, but look at this guy. Nice. But whatever. I'm old enough to ride whatever kind of bike I want. Don't really care about impressing anybody. It's about having fun for me. Being a grandfather, being a husband, being a father, enjoying a cigar, riding a little motorcycle. A lot of fun. Worked hard my whole life, trying to relax a little bit in my older age, so hopefully got another decade or so before I go. Someone's calling me on the phone, but obviously not going to grab that. Anyway, nice twisty little roads here. What am I going, 30? Yeah, the second gear. Just cruising on a Saturday afternoon. This is a great gun club right here. We're about to pass on the left. You can shoot rifles, pistols, whatever. Very expensive, but I pay the membership all the time and I never go there. I have another club that I like. I haven't gone there in about 2 years either, but I still keep the membership because there's like a 5-year waiting list to get back on if you lose your membership. And then you lose your privileges to do the action match or IDPA shooting, so I don't want to do that. What else? Okay, so we're going to turn now to this pretty street. This is a nice reservoir over here. And the funny thing is, when you're in a car, you zip by this and you don't even pay any attention to it. When you're on a bike, you enjoy it more. Over the years, I must have driven the street thousands of times and I never really paid any attention. But when, like I said, when you're on a bike, look at that. It's just beautiful. Just a beautiful view. The other day I was driving and I stopped and the sound of the waterfall was absolutely incredible. Where are we going? 35 miles an hour. That's a cool car. There's that old Triumph. Wow, I love it. Just looked at a Triumph Bonneville the other day, which I thought was my dream bike. And there was a local one for sale for a really good price, and I was like, I'll take it. And then I went and I saw it, and when I sat on it, turns out I was way too big for it, which was really, really a letdown. I'm 6'2", and my knees were like just way above the gas tank. I felt really like a gorilla on a little tricycle. It didn't wasn't good. I was so upset. It was in good shape, and again, the price was awesome. It looked so beautiful. It was about, what was it, like a 2010. Hardly had any miles on it. The guy owned it, and he didn't ride it that much. But I see 2 days later on Facebook Marketplace it's already sold. So what are you gonna do? You gotta do it or don't do it. So many bikes on Facebook Marketplace. So many scams. You know, 2019 Harley diners for $1,000, and they say, "Oh, just send me crypto payment, and then I'll have my sister drop off the bike because it's out of state." I guess people actually do that because there's so many of these ads. Someone actually falls for it, and I feel really bad. And I'd love to meet one of these people in person, to be honest with you. Not that I'm a vigilante, but I would have a chat with them. Guy riding his bicycle, enjoying the scenery. Just such a nice twisty, windy road. No need to go fast. If there's cars behind me and they want to go fast, it's their problem. I don't know what to say. Some pretty houses. It's a nice house right there. Just passed someone selling lemonade. It's probably a $2.5 million house. And the kid's selling lemonade out front, which is good. Maybe a future budding entrepreneur, maybe a Fortune 500 company owner, getting his feet wet in business. I've been in business for over 40 years for myself. I started businesses when I was about 15 years old. But after all these years, I think it's time for me to take a break, smell the roses. A little false neutral there, happens sometimes. Went down to first gear for the turn, and then second gear going up this hill. What do they say when you're going around a circle? Slow, look, press, and roll. That's what they teach you in the basic rider course, which I took last August. So it's May, coming up to a year in a couple of months that I actually got my motorcycle license. Again, for me, it's just slow and easy and cruising. That's my thing. I don't really go on the highways. I got nowhere to go. If I have to go on the highway to get something, I'll use one of my cars. Can't really carry too much on a motorcycle. I'm not one of those bagger type of guys that carries those, big suitcases on the back of their motorcycles. I think they call them a naked bike, or just a bare bones, stripped down bike, standard bike. Some glass in the road right there. There's Amazon, probably bringing something to my house right now, hopefully. Amazon junkie, as you guys know. Make a turn right here. This is a pretty street. Another street where quite a few celebrities live on this street. Jose Feliciano, the singer, lives on this street. And the one house I will show you, possibly if I pass by it, is a house where Frank Sinatra used to live for a summer in the 1950s with Marilyn Monroe. And since then, the house has been expanded greatly. When they lived there, it was sort of a country cottage. Now I think it's close to 20,000 square feet, so there's definitely been a lot of additions. I think in the old days, people weren't as, I don't know, ostentatious as they are these days. There's so many of these houses that are just well over 10,000 square feet. You know, which is good, I guess. If you have a big family and you got the money, why not? Do what you got to do. If you could afford the taxes, which are astronomical these days, no matter where you live, but certainly in this area, quite a lot. Downshift to first here. Stop at this stop sign. Actually gonna do a full stop. Okay. Switched into second gear. Third gear. That's a beautiful farm next to a church with fresh vegetables and stuff. Hope this audio is even working. Who knows? But whatever. I'm still enjoying myself. And if you guys have watched this video this far, congratulations to you. I don't know, but I like watching motorcycle videos. I've been watching, I forget his name, my goodness. He's a reverend. He's got a channel. And he's been motovlogging for over 10 years. And I don't know, sometimes I just sit there and I just watch his videos and he rides around his town where he lives, and it's kind of interesting. I guess there's a niche for everybody. You know, on my channel recently got a few complaints, like, how come you don't do gun videos anymore? You used to be gun collector, now you're just collector 007. Well, first of all, I think I have 200 guns or more, so I really don't even have any room. And if I buy another safe, I know me, I'm not going to be able to just put a couple of guns in that safe, then I'm going to go on a massive buying spree and buy a whole bunch of guns to fill up the safe, because I don't want to have a safe with only 10% used, and so then I'll spend another small fortune buying guns. But besides that, which is not the worst thing in the world, I just don't really see any that strike my fancy, quite frankly. There's like not too many new ones out there that are doing it for me. Another rolling stop. I know you're not supposed to do that, but what are you gonna do? Another false neutral. I gotta push a little harder, I guess, when I do that. Into third. I think third gear works best on this bike, around 40 to 45 miles an hour. But again, it's just such a beautiful day. Just thought I'd get out there and try this camera. It's been so, I don't know, dreary. Passing by one of my old houses that I used to live in about 20 years ago. It was a beautiful house. Lived there when my kids were very young. And then we sold it and we bought another house. Actually smaller than that one. That one was kind of big. I think it was 6,000 square feet. What was nice is to my right, you can't really see it, but there's a river. So when I lived here, we had the house on the left, and then across the street we had an acre of property that was on the river. So I had a nice canoe, and I used to take the kids in these little mini rapids, and we used to have a good time. You know, nothing, no like white water stuff. It was very, very gentle, but you know, it is what it is. It was fun at the time. Alright, we're gonna make a right here. Alright, well, we missed Sinatra's house. I'll get it next time. That was down the other side. We'll show you another house because the person's passed away. It was a dear friend of mine and my family's. Wonderful family. They got us into horseback riding and the whole equestrian world, so my daughter did that for quite a while. And the guy was an inventor, the husband. And I remember many times sitting, there it is, right back there. You can't really see it. It doesn't do it justice from the road. But he had a conference room in his office, and he had a table that was 25 feet long. And he invented actually Pampers, and he invented microwave dishes, like microwave plates that, you know, when you buy frozen food, they could go in the microwave. So he did quite well. And they were an older couple, and they were friends with the actress Betty Davis. And she was gone by the time we became friends with them. This was 25 years ago. And but fascinating. I used to listen to this fella talk about his life experiences and helicopter trips and hunting expeditions in Africa and stuff. The man lived a wonderful life, a full life, and he was a great guy, very generous. And again, his wife, she really got us into the horse world. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't spend probably $100,000 teaching my daughter to ride. But it's good because now she's got a granddaughter, and I'm going to do the same thing. Actually, right there was where we used to have the meetings for the pony club that my wife eventually became president of, which was quite unusual for a girl from Staten Island to become a sort of a I don't know, the head of a WASPy type. Let's see what's going on here. I mean, I got a red light. I could make a turn, but I'm going to wait. First gear. Oh, a lot of traffic. Again. That's the longest I've ever waited at that street. So third gear. Fourth gear. I like that this bike has a gear indicator on it. I know a lot of real bikers, they don't like to use it. Like you shouldn't take your eyes off the road, which is probably true. I'm not going to argue there. But as a novice, I sometimes forget what gear I'm in if I'm riding for a while. And it's nice to just glance down and just know. I mean, I know if I push all the way down on the first, but I don't know, maybe I don't want to go on the first. Probably very windy on this microphone. I'm going to apologize. I won't know until I get home how this video came out, or even if it is coming out or whatever. But I can just feel the wind, because obviously you see I have this small little fly screen instead of a windscreen. It's really just to protect the instrument panel. But I didn't really like the idea of having to look through a big piece of plexiglass. It didn't seem you know, like something I wanted. So I could have got one. I actually had a sponsor that was going to send me a windshield, but I declined. So that's it. I like the bike as it is. Like I said, naked. Alrighty, passing through the big town center here. Well, it's really a hub of business activity. There's like 4 stores. It's a very small town. It's a gas station. It's a great gas station if you like paying typically about $1 more than the average price. No matter what it is out there, it's $1 more. I imagine their rent is high, so I'm not going to knock them. And I do use them, not all the time, but I use them occasionally because I like to frequent small local businesses. Because in my life I've owned a lot of small businesses, and I certainly appreciated all my customers and members and my clubs and so forth that patronize my place. So you got to pay it forward. You can't be one of those people that makes money and just hoards it. So you gotta make money, do what you want to do with it, but then if you're not good at something, like me, I'm not that handy, you gotta hire people. And are you making your money and then you hiring a contractor or whatever it is, a small-time guy to work on your house, you're just spreading the money. You're just, it's going in a big circle. So money that you made to feed your family, you're giving it to him so he can feed his family. And it's a big circle of life, and it goes on and on and on and on. All right. Going up to 3rd here. So when I get above like 40, the wind really starts to go, so you could probably hear us. Under 40 is, kind of quiet. The thing is, like I have a lot of buddies, and they have Harleys, and one friend owns 8 Ducatis, and he lives in Florida, and he's like, oh, I can't wait for you to get down here. We're going to go riding together. You could ride a real bike, so he doesn't consider my bike a real bike. And he goes, the thing is, with a Ducati, it doesn't really start to run right until you're past 80 miles an hour. So I was telling him, like, that's great. If I come down there, just let me know where we're going to meet, and I'll meet you about a half an hour later, whether it's a diner or restaurant, wherever we're going. Because the fastest I've ever been is like 60 miles an hour. Because really, I'm in no rush for anything. So we're going to put it in 4th gear now. We're going to go up this hill. I know you're supposed to sort of downshift when you go up the hill, but I give it a little running start. I was going to pull up. So again, pretty day, great day for a nice ride. Been cooped up for a couple of weeks, like I said. Going out to Seattle to visit my mother soon. And evidently, it's like rainy all the time. I mean, I knew that, so. So it's like July and August are really the only time to come out there. That's when you get a little bit of sunshine. I definitely would not want to live in a place where it's cloudy 10 months out of the year. Probably have that, what do they call it, sad seasonal depression disorder, when it's not sunny. Street people always pull out. I wouldn't say it was his fault. He gave me plenty of room, but that street's street where people always seem to just find motorcycles to be invisible. So that's really it. I'm getting ready to head on home right now. We're up to 50 miles an hour, fourth gear. And that's really it. Hope you enjoyed the ride. Again, if you're watching this long, maybe if you have insomnia, it was a good video to watch at night and I hope you fall asleep. But to my fellow bikers out there, stay safe, keep the rubber side down, as they say, and enjoy your life. It goes quick.